Welcome back to Crescent City Community College to work on your Master's in the Maasverse. Our current course is focused on Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah Janet Maas. Today's episode is sponsored by Bookish Wine, so we're chatting chaps 41 through 48 in honor of our gal pals.
I feel like we have to bow. Sketch a bow, not sketch a bow, because I've learned from a long way in being able to read.
It's proud of you.
Warning, while we may be your silly gal pals, we don't recommend listening to this podcast around little ears or ears that may be offended because we say bad words and shitty things. Hey, calling all book drags and wine sluts. What's better than getting lost in a magical realm with hottie babies and fiddle jams? Getting lost with a glass of the perfect wine without fiddles and blonde men while in sweatpants. That's the entire idea behind Bookish Wine. They are a quarterly subscription box dedicated to the glorious genre of romantasy, and I am obsessed. Every 3 months, you get a beautiful edition romantasy book and a bespoke artisan-crafted bottle of wine that is custom-made to match the world and theme of the exact book. They do the pairing, so all you have to do is sip, read, and escape into fantasy realms. The wine label's also artist designed to complement the featured book. Blakely and I like to point out that it's not AI. We especially love this. Ready to upgrade your reading nights? Head on over to www.bookishwine.com. That is BOOKISHWINE.com. Use our code BlakelyKylie at checkout to receive a signed copy of the December book and start reading, sipping, and subscribing today. That is a mouthful.
That's what she said.
The only thing I want my mouth full of is this wine.
Bitch.
You thought I was going to say something else. No. Relax those shoulders, unclench those jaws, clench that clam, and let's get into it.
Chapter 41.
This chapter is very heavy detective work, so there's not a lot to dive into.
No. That's kind of these chapters in general, guys. Bryce was like, "Get in, loser. We're going home." And Syrinx was like, "Hell nah." Not so shockingly, he listened to Hunt immediately. Hunt flew them all home. They changed out their soaking wet clothes and were on the way to Phiro to do some investigating. The Rose Gate was quiet. Hunt was worried that he was wrong about his ley line theory, and he thinks it might be possible that they need to check the sewer. So they went sewer exploring. Hunt didn't want to explore any farther because he wasn't super interested in being dead. All the sewers lead to the Eastros, and Hunt says he has a contact with the many water peeps and will ask them for some intel. They head back home like wet little sewer rats. Hunt tells her the guest bathroom is out of soap, and she tells him to get some in the linen closet. We meet a new favorite character, Jelly Jubilee, a unicorn Pegasus. Bryce is like, "Wait, the soap is right here. Why did you get this down?" And Hunt is like, "Well, I saw purple glitter." Bryce is like, "Dude, you thought it was my vibrator, huh?" No answer. She tells him she keeps these non-sex toys because she loves them, and he is introduced to Peaches and Dreams and Princess Cream Puff. We get the lore that when she was a little kid, these cuties were things that made her be accepted. He tells her he will never laugh at them again. Bryce is like, "Good. Oh, and my vibrators are in the left nightstand." The pain in the ass and the snooping pervert sure are cutie patoots. I did look up to see if there are Pegasus in the Maasverse, and guess what, gang? There sure are. Helion, the High Lord of the Day Court, has 7, of course, the number 7, Pegasus, which are rare, and there used to be a shit ton, but most have just vanished, as if they'd been devoured by the sky itself. Weird. And guess where they came from? The island the prison sat upon. They had once fed in fair meadows, and they had a long given away to moss and mist, I think is what it was said, but I wrote moss and mist. Now, I can't say any more because we're focusing on House and Earth and Blood, but if you know, you know. Hint.
I love that Jelly Jubilee inspired this squirreling because, what if the Asteri actually were, stealing the Pegasus to create Jelly Jubilee because the profit's just going to go to them anyway?
Mm.
That's why they were so hard to get.
The Asteri aren't into drug dealing. They're into Pegasus dealing. Call back to last episode. Sorry, guys.
Wow, there's a lot of dealings.
Lots of.
Honestly, what would you rather deal in, Jelly Jubilee or drugs? That's a really tough question.
I think the clientele of Jelly Jubilee are less shifty. So probably Jelly Jubilees.
I'm gonna go with drugs.
Yeah. Well, Jelly Jubilees poop, you know? So that's cleanup. Who's in charge of that?
Okay, real Jelly Jubilees, not like the toys that Bryce had.
Right.
Just to
Yeah.
clarify, the toys do not poop.
No. Hey, we had one of those toys in the 90s. What was that? Baby Alive? She pooped.
I love this is what we're talking about because Sarah J. Maas loves poop. The sewers smell like it. Like they're about to go in it. Well, they weren't were going to. And then in Turtle Glass, they go in it. And then Watery Bowels, like big poop cows. Not us.
You know, IBS representation matters. Okay. So she's a real one for that. I mean, I can't relate, but you might.
I sure can. Chapter 42. Bryce asks Hunt if she's ever been to the Mer City, but he's cool with staying above water. We then get a little insight about this mysterious city. River folk are hella secretive about the Blue Court. One glass sub goes in and out per day by invitation only. Swimming there was impossible with spooky things prowling the water. Fun mer facts. The mer could shift into full human bodies for short periods of time, but if they went too long, the shift would be permanent. Their scales drying up and flaking away into dust, their gills shrinking to nothing. It's a fun fact.
We love fun facts. Well, FFs.
We meet Therian Ketos. Auburn hair, partially scaled, muscly, fingers tipped with sharp gray nails, light brown eyes, and the one man in the series who gets an auto invite to my reverse harem. He takes a seat out of the water and starts calling Bryce legs, telling her to sit next to him. Therian is consulting for Hunt on a case, and that's how they know each other. Therian and Bryce shamelessly flirt for a minute until Hunt can't take it and moves the convo along. Therian is the River Queen's captain of intelligence, even. So, something I lack. So, he's kind of a big deal. Bryce tells Therian that they have some questions and he is ready spaghetti to answer.
Just a little FY to the I. Therian is derived from the Greek theros, which means courage or bravery. Katos means sea monster or huge fish, if you ever doubted what Therian is bagging.
Really straightforward name. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me you didn't love him immediately. Like him and Lahaba got me through this first read of this series because I didn't like it the first read. I did, but I didn't like the characters, but I love them.
Mm-hmm. They're my favorite characters instantly, plus Jessica.
100%. We love Jessica.
The three, top three.
100%. Like Jessica's my favorite through like the series. Therian's banter with Bryce is so great. He's like, what does your boyfriend think of you working with the famed Umbra Mordid? I have a cat, and he just ran into my window, guys. Can you imagine a night with Hunt and Therian, though?
I mean, I can. I can't imagine it. I saw a big sea monster in my head.
That's what told you his name meaning.
Yeah. I mean, no, I already really liked him because he's witty. But I'll just never get around you coming around to Hunt. I know you want to be coming around
With those cum gutters. Yes. That is the only time that Hunt should be a cum gutter for me. Or Bryce, I guess, is cool. Not at the same time. So another fun mer fact. A truly fun one. Some of the darker mer had carried human brides down to their undersea courts and kept them there, trapped within the massive air bubbles that contained parts of their palaces and cities, unable to reach the surface. So there's some dark mare.
Yeah.
Mermaids. Mer, not mares.
Mer.
They're not horses.
I always say mare in my head.
That's a terrifying thought, like half horse, half mermaid. That's like nightmare fuel, like rubbing through that's like dangling legs, like swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. No, thank you.
Okay, picture that, but put Crocs on those legs.
The horses,
Mm-hmm.
well, I guess you're not putting them on a horse or a horse's fin. In this case, it is a horse's fin, but a mermaid's fin.
No.
So Therian serves the River Queen. What we know about her is the River Queen is part mer, part river spirit, could summon far worse, they said, possibly wash away all of Lunation if provoked. She was the daughter of Ogenis, whichever it is, according to the legend, born from the
The big
mighty
O.
yeah, born from the big O,
Mm-hmm.
according to legend. Born from the mighty river that encircles the world, and sister to the Ocean Queen, the reclusive ruler of the 5 great seas of Midgard, which brings us back to maps. And why hasn't SJM shown us more? So far, we know Midgard has at least 2 continents, 5 seas, and a river that encircles the world.
That's kind of weird. A
Yeah,
river roundabout. Well, hmm. There's more continents. We know it.
for sure. Dead set on that one.
Mm-hmm.
They asked Therian if shit is weird, which makes him ask if that's why VQ, as Blakely lovingly calls her, brought in her people the other week. Therian will put his detective hat on and ask around covertly. Hunt tells him he can warn his water boss bitch about the Crystallos. They spot an otter, which is honestly the best part of this book. Otters have old magic in their veins and are messengers between the realms of Crescent City, the Mer and the River, the Reapers in the Bone Quarter, and the residents of Lunation proper. Apparently, Therian's little sister was murdered, and he and Hunt worked on the case, and it was a rogue panther shifter. Okay, so the only reason that I mentioned the rogue panther shifter is because this moment in the book feels a little Zootopia-esque, so I get why people say that. Like, you have mermaids, otters, that blue crab, angels,
Uh-huh.
fae, and the shifter all within like 3 pages of each other, so it is a little like, this is a lot of creatures.
Can I admit something about Zootopia?
Yes.
I was thinking about this like in bed last night, not in a weird way. And I was thinking about Zootopia and like if we're gonna look at animated characters, I kind of think Nick Wilde is kind of hot for a character because he's kind
Okay.
of a smart ass. And then I started thinking about like, okay, who else do I think is hot for characters? What a weird sentence. And the other person I thought was Robin Hood, the animated character. And then I'm like, do I have a thing for foxes? And then I said no because I don't want to bone Lulu, aka Lucian.
You wouldn't bone Lulu? You know it's the eye. It's the eye.
It's,
You know he's a hottie.
it's the eye, which we all know that I have a problem with.
Yeah, because imagine like banging him and it starts whizzing around because he's like reading or whatever he does to you. Like you'd be like, absolutely not, get off me.
Well, the problem is I picture Mad Eye Moody. So it does not work.
Yeah, Mad Eye Moody with red hair, but still
No.
the same
I
way.
mean, Mad Eye Moody does have red hair. So then we just grow it out.
Is it white in the movie?
No, it's red.
Is
It's
it?
Mad Eye Moody has red hair.
Why am I picturing like a cul-de-sac? Why am I so stuck on cul-de-sacs with wispy
You love
long, wispy white long hair?
Mm-hmm.
What is my visual? It's wrong. I need to see Mad Eye Moody right now.
It's
I
definitely
wrote
wrong.
booty.
It's taking a turn.
I'm not looking at. No, he is a blonde. It's like ginger-esque.
It's red hair. The actor has red hair.
Okay, but it looks blonde.
That's the lighting. He has red hair. For sure.
Wait. Well, in the movie, it still looks. Oh, it just depends on the light. He's a
So yeah,
strawberry
just
blonde.
want you guys to know that I think Nick
Mad Eye
Wilde from
Moody's hot.
Zootopia is a hottie. Thanks again, Bookish Wine, for sponsoring this episode.
Back at the gallery, Lahaba checks in with Appy, making sure B is not being a B. They start talking about the case and how they need more intel on Sabine, and Rune hasn't found any more leads on the horn either. Hunt then asks Bryce about her jacket. Danica left it there the day she was 86 from life, which led her to tell Hunt about the tattoo. The tattoo on my back, on Bryce's back, not mine. The tattoo on my back says the same thing. Well, in some fancy alphabet that she dug up online. But Danica had a thing about that phrase. It was all the Oracle told her. So now she wears it because it resonated with Danica. Hunt shares that the sunball hat that he was wearing was the first thing that he bought when he got to Lunation, and it represented a new beginning. They're really like bearing it all here. Bryce flirts more with Hunt, and he is so darn responsible and wants to get back to the case on Sabine, which that name drives Bryce the fuck up. They can't bring Sabine in for questioning, so of course Bryce has an idea.
Of course she does. That brain of hers is squirting.
Her Brian is squirting.
You're Brian. I'm an idiot.
It's fine. We all are.
Mm-mm. Chapter 43. They took a little field trip to Moonwood to see the Prime. Amelie is a real fucking bee with shitty insults. Ethan Holstrom escorts them to see the Prime, but surprise, surprise, he's taking a little nappy poo, and they'll see Sabitch instead. Bryce tells Sabine that they came to speak about Danica's murder. She tells them to stay the fuck out of their business and wants to know where her sword is. Bryce ignores her and tells her they are here to confirm that Danica was stationed at Luna's temple when it was stolen. Sabine tells her she wasn't at the temple and she had nothing to do with the horn being stolen. After Sabitch insults her some more, she starts walking out and calling it a mistake.
Hunt's all in with Bryce, and like he doesn't even know it. He brushed his velvet soft wings against her arm and had her walking. Like, I love this little detail of knowing how sensitive angels are about their wings, but he naturally does it so much. It's just sweet. Fuck. Every time I say something nice, I'm like
grossed out.
Yeah.
By yourself.
I'm giving myself the ick.
Yeah, you're grossed out by yourself, not Hunt, which is worse. You know, you're like, God, I'm so gross for loving Hunt.
Yeah. Why do I think? Yeah.
He is hot.
I know. Come gutter hot.
He's come gutter hot. That's a different level of hot, okay?
Top tier.
Top tier. Some might call him come gutter hot for sure. She describes Moonwood as a sprawling villa built around a wild tangle of forest and grass that legend claimed had grown here since before anyone had touched these lands. They talk about limestone tiles, pale pillars, glass doors that opened in the park in the center of the villa. I don't know. Sounds a lot like the palace on the southern continent. Pillars outside the glass doors that led to the park in the center of the villa.
I'm like 99.9% on board with it is the southern continent. The only reason that I question, the first time I actually question it, is like the castle in Adderlin was limestone before it was glass. All that was left was the limestone floor. So like, what if it was actually there? The only other mention of limestone is in Wendelin, but it is arches.
I did look that up and it didn't support my theory, so I didn't bring it up.
I mean, but either way, like these worlds, it is the same world, 100%. Just like, what if it's they're all shifted continents because she's not showing us a damn map?
Yeah, the olive groves and all of that make me in the climate. But I did see that for sure.
But who's to say that limestone isn't on that continent if it's on two?
Right.
To support
maybe
it.
That's what they trade.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just the glass doors that go out to the they said it was like a park in the center of the villa, which I was rereading things. God, I have not read Tower of Dawn. No, in a very long time. So I was like reading, like, oh, okay, so no, this does track. It sounds like it. I'm not crazy.
No, I mean, 99.9% on board, but now, like, trade existed between the continents, so why wouldn't they? Or why don't they could have it as a natural resource.
True that. So Ethan stops to ask what this is all about. She tells him it's starting again. 3 murders the same way. He tells her that he will text her He tells her that he will text her if he finds anything out. Then gets in a dig. Are you going to respond this time? Ethan follows her and tells her you never deserved him. She just says, I know. Ethan starts going in on her about the dumb choices she's made, but he never pegged her. That's what she said. Sabine wants her dead, but Bryce snaps and says, likewise, Connor would be ashamed of you letting Amelie run rampant and let that piece of shit be Alpha. Ethan is like, never say his name again. Hunt tells him to walk away. As they walk out, Amelie calls her trash. See, she's got insults like you.
I know, it made me think about, like, drinking Mike's Harder lemonade out of a brown bag on the beach in Lake Stevens, and I bet Bryce would because we're trash together.
Mhm. Totally.
Okay, speaking of pegging, like, who do you think queen of transition, who do you think would be more likely to be pegged? Ethan or Hunt? Or
Ethan.
Micah?
Micah. Final answer.
100% that was mine too. Like, as I said,
Yeah.
I was like, it's Micah. Micah would
Once
be
you said Micah, that changed it for sure. For sure. Micah.
yeah, like, out of the 3 of
I
them.
feel like Micah would be pretty fluid. Like, but
Yeah,
like, I bet the fluidity is more in the DL.
yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like he's a big pegging guy into it.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's a strong woman or lad.
Once again, thanks Bookish Wines for
That is bookish wine talk.
use
So,
code
Blakely
Blakely
Kylie.
Kylie.
Chapter 44. Bryce just wants Hunt to arrest that bitch, but unfortunately they can't. Her being the bootleg prime of the wolves and all. Hunt starts asking about the drums with Amelie. Amelie liked Connor apparently and did not like that Bryce let her freak flag fly that night Connor died, and that Connor had a thing for Bryce because Bryce's text about her freak flag with Danica leaked, and the wolves were not Bryce's fan. Like, poor Bryce, they really went all in on her. Hating her, with obviously writing a song about her, 1,000 printed out sheets of the song, mocking up an album like artwork from the photos of her home night. Like, people are awful.
Yeah, they are, but at least you gotta respect that they really committed to the hatred and they use their imaginations. But like, why can't they take this imagination and come up with a better fucking insult? Slut?
That's so
Amelie,
boring.
like, boo you.
You know,
Slut and
once again, my sister had the insult when she changed my email password to the hint being, and my cat just jumped up. The hint being, you are a cum guzzling gutter whore. Like, they could have went that route, but no, slut.
so unimaginative, you know?
Because of all the shitty things people did, Bryce was ready to jump off her roof until Juniper called her on a whim. Juniper talked to Bryce until she arrived and was on that roof with her and took care of her when she needed her the most. Bryce comes back to the moment when Hunt says people are assholes. Bryce asks if Hunt made up his shadow. Yes, ma'am.
Remember the whole Andromeda starseed thing? And they're coming back for humanity, and it was Juniper, the one that saved her randomly? Proceed.
Bryce asks if Hunt made up his Shadow of Death nickname himself. He only has it because it was either that or Slave of Death. Both really getting personal. She talks about her stepdad, Randall Salago, and how he taught her to shoot. He asks if she has ever used that training outside of practice, and she just said when she had to. Saved by Jessica texting her, telling her that there will be a client there in 30 minutes. Jessica was in a mood. I could not spell out Jessica that day, and it's bothering me. God damn it. Jessica was in a mood, so she was firing off all sorts of fun texts for Cinderella. It's cool because Hunt has to say toodaloo for a bit anyway. Bryce is permanently in heat, like from watching the angels on the roof to flirting with Varian to immediately asking if Justinian is hot when he took over watch. Like, I love this for her.
She's one of us. It's just a girly pot, you know?
Talking about cum gutters left and right.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Hunt is on the roof in his fields when he frowns at the bone quarter. No one knew what went on in the sleeping city, and somehow people were not nosy enough to fly over, which drives me nuts because, like, I would. If I had wings, I'd fly over that bitch. I have no self control.
No, you don't.
He thinks about Danica sailing and how Bryce wasn't there, but she made it to the other side. Isaiah calls Hunt, interrupting his deep thoughts about dead people. So two things, two things Hunt thought about. Danica's sailing and how she was deemed worthy. First time reading, I personally didn't think about if she made it across. Like, time, this like made me go, oh wait, like
Mhm.
hesitate on that. And then Whiny Ethan Holstrom was a gifted warrior. I was like, Whitney. I was like, who's Whitney? Whiny Ethan Holstrom was a gifted warrior who had made the drop and come within spitting distance of Connor's power. It's like the gods knew he couldn't be a powerful hottie with a good personality. Like magic needs balance, so he's got to be like a little fucking bitch.
Yeah, like he's great at Sunball, but like he's a bitch,
Yeah.
you
Like,
know?
I know he was devastated his brother died and his parents are dead, but he like just gave up Sunball. Like, what a whiner.
Like, what a
Loser.
loser. Chapter 45. Juniper and Bryce are having a little catch up. Juniper mentions that her dance instructor is opening a dance class to the public. Oh, and P.S., she had her save a spot. Bryce is like, nay, nay, not interested in fun. Bryce invites her over, but Juniper wants to know if that hottie with a naughty body Angel's going to be there. Bryce is like, no, I think he's still caught up on someone, unfortunately for you. And Juniper's like, actually, unfortunately for you, bitch. Bryce asked to hang out, and she's like, once again, I gotta go practice. Bryce told her not to work too hard, and Juniper didn't really like that. She said she'd call her later dates. She called Fury, and she was hater buttoned. The apartment felt way too quiet. She tried watching TV, but that was depressing. She had to get the fuck out of there.
It's weird that it went straight to voicemail. They call it audio mail. Like, no
Okay.
rings. Like, she doesn't have service because she could possibly be in like a different realm. It's just weird that it went straight to voicemail.
Or maybe hell, the different levels doesn't have service down there.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I
Hell's
know. I meant realms, Helms. Yeah. Where is
Realms
she?
and Realms is the helm of realm. Wait,
The
no,
Helm, Helm's Keep, some might say.
that's where, yeah, words are so hard.
I mean, I fucked it up, so it was like. Hunt got a call from Naomi that Bryce left. He was sent the coordinates. Bryce and Hunt end up having a little heart to heart and how the quiet bothers Bryce sometimes. And she's just down to one friend. I'm sorry why I'm laughing. Like, the poor girl's got one friend and I'm laughing. He grabs her. She asks him, is he grabs her. She asks, is this the point where you start yelling? Hunt's purrs. Would you like me to yell, Bryce Quinlan? She says, maybe. He laughs. He was mesmerized. Nothing existed but her. He never even heard it when the Crystallis crashed into him like Coldplay and bit his fucking shoulder.
Like Coldplay.
Isn't that what that song is? Crash into you? Or wait, is that
Dave
Pearl Jam?
Matthews Band?
Coldplay speaks to you.
One and the same,
Tomato, tomato.
So this chapter is the first mention of Big R, the right hand of the Asteri, because I don't know if it's Rigulus, Rigulus, or Regulus. So on the news, Big R, bright hand of the Asteri, appeared giving some speech on new trade laws at the gilded podium. Behind him, the 5 other Asteri sat enthroned in their crystal chamber, cold-faced and radiating wealth and power. As always, the 7th throne sat empty in honor of their long-dead sister. So the traditional name of Big R is Latin for prince or little king. So I picture like, but Lord Farquaad. Yet again, I'm picturing Lord Farquaad as their leader. Rigel or Beta or Orionis, words are hard, is the brightest star in the constellation. Orion and the 7th brightest star in the night sky. There's 7 Asteri. And Rigel is the 7th brightest star. Just
You wrote the
interesting.
pronunciation down at
I
the
just
bottom.
don't trust it though.
Yeah, that's fair. That is interesting. I mean, that took a lot for you to get through, but it is
It's all the name of all the name, Wow. Big R. Big R.
Big R makes it sound like something we said in the 90s that we're not allowed to say anymore every time you say that. So that is what I thought of the whole time when you struggled to get through your paragraph. The big
I'm
R.
just calling one of the Asteri that. This is
Yep. Yep. So that's what. Thank you, Bookish Wine, for sponsoring our episode.
this is what you signed up for.
Mm-hmm. This is what you came for, just like Rihanna says.
Chapter 46. The Crystallos booped into Hunt a little hard. That's what she said. Hunt chose to throw Bryce out of the way or draw a weapon, but instinctively he chose her. So now the pay-per-view event is Angel versus Demon. Blood, lightning, screaming, all that jazz. Hunt managed to yell to Bryce for backup as he kept stabbing at the thing, making no difference. The demon managed to bite Hunt, and that's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. Bryce didn't call. She tried to shoot the demon, but it kept dodging her shots. Hunt was able to get a long knife in its spine and sever its neck. It died. They beat the dead horse just to be sure that it was dead. People started arriving, and a medwitch started taking care of Hunt with a worm that sucks out venom. Naomi was trying to get Bryce to have a medwitch look at her too when Micah arrived. He starts saying the press can't get wind of this, aka Sandy can't hear. So he burned it. Okay, so the Crystallos has a grayish translucent skin. Once again, going back to my Demigorgon vibe, totally fit me.
Mm-hmm.
It's blind, but can dodge a bullet, and it's very hard to kill, and its venom nullifies powers. Like, Micah burning that bitch up should have raised everyone's red flag. Like, we need to know about it. People already saw it, so people are still going to get wind of it. Everyone, like, should start being cautious of him. They're, like, Bryce already has vibes from him. That's why she's turning me off.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that guy.
True that.
Bryce starts wondering if the horn was in the park and had she somehow gotten near it. She doesn't know how on the nose she is. She also doesn't realize how they killed it so quickly since Danica was taken out. How did she walk away from the Crystallos twice, but Danica and the pack of devils get taken the fuck out? What's wrong with me? Now Bryce is getting suspicious. Hunt tells Micah he needs to talk to him, and Micah is not even interested because they need more evidence and only to come to him when they have concrete proof and to not fuck it up for him. So words matter. And this shitty guy is starting to show who he is. Come to me when you have concrete proof. Or if you find that horn. Don't fuck this up for me, ACOTAR. Like, words matter. And there's subtle hints that he, like, really fucking sucks all along.
Yeah. It's all that pegging.
He's got his brain all scrambled. His Brian is just squirting.
He had too many attitude adjustments. And sorry, that's an inside joke with my husband's friends. They always say in the butt is she needs an attitude adjustment. So Micah had one too many.
He's a big fan of him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so here it is. Sorry, guys. Got really excited. Rune got to the crime scene after Brunt left. He sees the barbecued spot and a few drops of the blood. He channeled Lisa Barlow and in his mind was like, can I touch? But the cutie medwitch we know is Hypaxia, but he doesn't know, basically read his mind and told him the venom is in its saliva and they're unsure about its blood. Rune is like, it didn't affect the moss, but Hypaxia is like, I have old tutors. Then shares that she was thinking about what he said and that there is potential research and she will send it to him when she gets back into town. When Flynn yells his name and interrupted, she took that moment to peace out on her broom. Flynn asked, who's that girl? And Rune literally doesn't know. I love a dramatic exit. So her just taking off on her broom is perfect.
I wish that I had a broom. I would be into that.
I would have so many dramatic exits. I love them.
You really do love a dramatic exit. Chapter 47. This is a very long chapter, guys, so buckle in. We're going to discuss a lot, and I just want you to be prepared. So I'm going to talk for a very long time, and we'll get into it. Bryce and Hunt were on the roof holding each other, obviously trauma bonded by the intenseness of the night, which apparently made them little hornballs. It looked as if that slow burn was finally going to let it burn, like Usher says, but instead, that bitch Sabine shows up, gun drawn, and telling them to back the fuck up.
The
And
end.
that's
End scene. Can you imagine having like this intimate moment where you're like sniffing each other and your arch nemesis sees it all?
Guy Fieri just shows up when you are smelling necks.
Sperm, because they have like, he's got the white hair, but it's spiked.
Yeah. What if Sabine is like a descendant or Guy Fieri is a descendant of Sabitch?
I think it's very possible. She is wearing like flame shirts for sure.
Yeah. She loves flavor.
She's a big diners, drives gal.
Mm-hmm.
Diners, drive in, and dives. There we go. I don't watch it because one, I don't have cable, and two, it's my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
My arch nemesis. And that's kind of what I'm gonna picture from now on.
It's a bitch with her flame shirt on.
Chapter 48 is just as long as chapter 47. You guys ready?
I'm not, but go ahead.
Talk about a dramatic entrance. That bitch Bean Bean had a gun pointed at Bryce's heart. Hunt is panicking and wonders how he can save Bryce. She's half fame would not survive a close range shot. Bryce asks where her demon friend is, and so Hunt slowly tried to angle his arm to protect her, but Bean Bean don't miss a thing. She's pissed. Bryce is asking questions. Bryce is like, I know you killed Danica, and Beans is shook. Hunt is like, well, you did wipe the footage of the horns theft from the temple, and you kind of ranted about your daughter not keeping her mouth shut the night she died. That's when Beans gets real pissed and says, I didn't steal anything, you stupid fuck, and I didn't kill my daughter. I was protecting her. Danica stole the horn. It's such a high anxiety moment and like a great cliffhanger because of what a fucking reveal.
What a fucking reveal. Bean Bean's a bitch. She's really getting those neck. Guy
That's,
Fieri's kind
gross. I hate it. I hate her.
yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us as we continue our journey through Crescent City. We have new episodes every Wednesday, and join us next week as we talk chapters 49 through 56. I just want to mention thank you again to our sponsors, Bookish Wine. You guys should make sure to subscribe because December's box is Child of Chevet by J.R. Cathers, who we love and interviewed a couple weeks ago.
So check that interview out if you have not. And make sure you follow us on all social media for our latest updates, theories, and more new but goofing. Don't know what else in there, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe and give us a review wherever you listen. All links are in our info, you giggling gal pals. We will see you next week.